we're heading over to the shop because I want to be able to use the lift to install the tires along with the lift. It's just going to make everything a lot easier. So follow along and let's go get it done. Alright, we're here at the shop and I got the CRV here kind of lined up. So, let's see, we've got things kind of opened up. We got our 235's on 15x10s over here. We have our little spacer lift and wheel adapters here. So all that's left is to get into it. So let's do this. All right, so got those stock wheels and tires off. Kind of take a look. It's nice living in California where we don't really have much rust to deal with, and I'm sorry if that's rubbing it in anyone's faces. I definitely have a torn boot there I need to take care of. I'm looking at that. I need to double check if those are supposed to have a gap there, but yeah, overall this thing's looking really clean underneath. Really don't have many issues besides an oil leak. Alright, so now it's time to unbolt this, and the strut on top. Get the strut here out so that we can put in the strut lift here to make room for those bastards. So, on to the next step of, I think I'm going to start with lowering the car and then getting the two strut bolts up top loose, putting it back up, and then we'll get the lower bar. So, let's do this. Alright, so got these all loosened up. So all that's left here is to remove this guy, and it should all free up there. Now the next thing I need to try to do is get this piece separated. So that is next. Alright, so here's one of the first victories. Alright, so now I gotta go ahead and put our little strut spacer on. Probably gonna clean this thing up a little bit because it's kind of nasty. I was just really thankful that that little sucker didn't really just hold on to there. So, all right, time to get the other side out. Ugh. And get the lift on. Alright, so we just encountered our first little speed bump, but I kind of was expecting this. Now on these spacers, these are a style that you do not have to reclock the strut, which saves a lot of time. However, this around here, you can see with the spacer here, the stock strut kind of bottoms out on this. I'm going to have to take an angle grinder, cut that off on both sides so that we can go ahead and get them in and then get to the back. Okay. And there we have it. So now, when we go We put on our little spacer there. You can see we have some clearance. Kind of see just like that. Now I'm going to go tighten this one up and do the same the other side. So hang on, we'll get them in. Alright, here we have the assembled passenger side strut with the 2.5 inch spacer. So now it's ready to go back in. So hopefully it won't be too much more difficult with the extra length on here. Alright, well today ended up being kind of a major pain in the ass. I ended up not actually getting the lift on because I couldn't get it by myself. It was like, I just couldn't get closer to like 1.5 inches to the bottom of the hole. And so I'm going to do it with the buddy with another weekend. But I still wanted to get the adapters and wheels on and see. I did hit a few spots in the wheel wells, especially in the back, to try to get a little extra room. But besides that, I'm going to lower it down and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so I have some scheduled shop time later to get the lift on this thing. I barely was able to make it to work today, just because of the lack of being able to turn. I did take a heat gun to the inner fenders there a little bit, just to kind of get them out of the way so I could at least get about 1/3 of my turning radius back. So lift's going on, and I've been looking at fender flares, but I want to see the lift on it first before I commit to that. It's a little wider than I was hoping, but we're going to work with it. So hang on, we'll get the lift on. Alright, so today's been a bit of a struggle. However, we do have the front lift in. So, let's find the spider webs, but it is in there. It definitely was a struggle. Alright, so I'm here with the CRV. I have the lift on, and I wanted to kind of do a little wrap-up video for the lift install. And so now I have some flares for it that I'm just more so going to be hanging on to until I actually decide if they're what I want to go with, and more so if I do get pulled over for tire poke, then I have something I can at least show to them that I'm making an effort. But fitment's not too bad. I'm probably going to get another inch in the lift once I do the correction spacer for the trailing arm, which will kick out the spacing in the front of the tire to be a little more even with the rear. The front we're doing pretty good. I have a little bit of rubbing on the kind of the front bumper spot there in front of the tire, so I'm going to do a little bit of fender trimming on that just to kind of clean it up. But besides that, she's doing good, so I'm really quite happy with it. So if you've been watching along this far, I appreciate you, and I'm really excited to see where this thing goes, so hang on.